Legend to the War here, and today we've got a Saving a Disaster battle, playing as Nagaroth in Mortal Empires on, I believe it's very high difficulty. The Skaven are attacking Vol's Anvil, and the balance of power is not very good. Now, they've got a lot of garbage in their army, and their army is larger than us. Now, here's the thing. I added up how many units we've got. It's 21, so if I deny control large armies, right? The only unit that won't show up on this battlefield is the Great Eagle, which we don't really need that much anyway. And what that'll do is deny their reinforcements from here, at least for the beginning part. And what that's going to do is allow us time to snipe the enemy general and get rid of these Skaven slave slingers, and hopefully other units as well, so that we don't get swamped. Because we've got a lot of Illyrian Reaver archers here, which are okay against Skaven, especially in this particular situation. But they need room to move, and if there's too many units on the battlefield, they won't give us enough space. So we'll do that, and we'll see how we go. Even doing that, though, the odds aren't great, but we'll see. I suppose the thing is, like, we don't really have that many units that can really push the balance of power in our favor. Yeah, so I was right. The only unit that isn't showing up is the Eagle. The balance of power is okay to begin with. That's all we need. We just need just something. All right, now let's move these guys to be a little bit more organized. Thing is, we don't want them shooting into Skaven slave slingers, because that would be a waste of ammunition. We've also got silver helms, which on this difficulty, I believe... This is on very hard. Let me just check that. Yes, it is. Okay, the high ground's over here. But if we move over to here, that's better high ground. So yeah, going to corner camp a little bit. Don't have much of a front line. But we can use these two to help out with that as well. Decent number of archers, which will help. Alright, silver helms, just keep them out of it for now. If we could actually hide them, that would be best. Alright. They might not be able to hide in this area. Because these are best used at the... Okay, we can actually hide them. Best used at the end of the battle, not at the beginning. Alright, we need these guys to take high value targets on. So the Doom Wheel comes to mind. Alright, what's their range? 140 versus 120. So we can outrange them. I think what I want to do is come at their rear. So this is on the large unit scale as well. Now this guy here, it's totally fine if he dies because that's part of the garrison. But that's his general. Don't want him to die. But, you know, we do need him to tank some of that damage. Alright, let's do this. So yeah, since the Skaven slaves were at the front, I think it's important to attack from the rear. Storm Vermin, Sword and Shield, whilst they can block a lot of shots, they're high value targets, so that would be... It's okay to shoot that. Now, one of the biggest problems with the Illyrian Reaver archers is they can actually use up all of their ammunition and have not done their worth. So you got to be really careful with what you target with them. Like, if I'm up against Illyrian Reaver archers and I got no missile units, sometimes I'll just let them shoot at low value targets because they just don't have enough ammo or missile damage to really count. Okay, here comes the Doom Wheel. I'd much rather shoot at the Doom Wheel. That thing is by far their most valuable unit on this battlefield. Come on, shoot the fucking Doom Wheel. Biggest problem though, not much armor piercing. So what are these? Death Runners. So, doing a bit of damage, but like I said, these guys just don't have enough ammunition to really do their worth. Clan Rat Spears is not really a good target. But we'll do what we can, because we can still use these guys as melee cavalry, just they're not very good melee cavalry. Another thing is distracting a bunch of units over here, then coming in when these guys are tired, essentially, because they're going to get worn out from our front line and also our cavalry, archers, and we'll hit them in the rear, hopefully causing a break. Causing them to break. Come on, shoot the Doom Wheel. I really wish that they would implement, for horse archers, separate commands that you give, attack and move orders separately, so that they don't just shoot at the first thing that they see. But you can't do that yet. Of course, that would make them significantly more powerful, but honestly, missile cavalry in this game is not very good anyway. Right, now let's bring in the Silver Helms. We're doing some damage to the Doom Wheel, so it's alright. Balance of power still seems pretty even. Badly outnumbered. Okay, Storm Vermin with halberds. We want to try and avoid them, but there's a lot of Skaven slave slingers here that we should try to get rid of. Whoops. It's alright. They don't do that much damage to cavalry, so probably didn't take much damage. Good. That thing's going down. I probably want to steer clear of that. Silver Helms on very high difficulty are not good. Most cavalry on the lower difficulty rank, on the higher difficulty rankings are not particularly good either. Some of them are, most of them are not. Just because of the way the game's been balanced. So that seems to be working out pretty well. We've got the bounce of power in our favor, and that Doom Wheel is almost gone. That was by far the biggest danger to our infantry, and we should probably get rid of it, because things are looking alright at the moment. I mean, you could pursue it afterwards. So yeah, just let it go. What do we got over here? Storm Vermin. Okay, I'm going to put them on skirmish mode, just because I need to concentrate over here now. So what we need these guys to do is to break the enemy units and get them off the battlefield. So they're actually quite useful against Skaven, because of the Skaven's low morale. Even on this particular difficulty, you can actually break the Skaven. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Move up on the hill. So it's working out reasonably well anyway.
Silver Helms, setting forth. Death to all. We advance. As you say, apace. Heralds of the wind. Quickly now!
Cool, just as long as they get off the battlefield, that's all that matters.
We advance! For duty, without fail! Advance! Heralds of the wind!
Oh shit, we're completely out of ammo. Alright, well then now we use them as melee cavalry.
Silver Helms! Battle fall! Silver Helms! Prince of Oakwood!
Starting to get a little bit overwhelmed over here. Balance of power slipped a little bit out of our favor, but it still is in our favor at the moment. We gotta get some charges in here now.
Understood! By Alario! Kill them!
Our general's not faring too well. Don't worry about that, that'll probably break before too long anyway.
Silver Helms!
And also, it could be a good idea to now target the enemy general. If we can kill him, that'll essentially negate their legendary difficulty, well, not legendary, but very high difficulty, battle difficulty, morale bonuses.
Northern Seagull! Orion!
We need to really try and save him. Oh, I could have been doing this the whole time. Try to kill the enemy general, because he's only got a little bit of health left. If you can shoot him, like I said, that minus 16 and then eventually minus 10 leadership penalty will really help us.
Illyrian archers.
He might just leave the battlefield.
Battle calls.
Yeah, they're not good at shooting at elevations. Alright, just don't worry about it. It's not that important.
Heralds of the wind.
Here's our eagle.
Serve the king. For order. Kill them.
Alright, get him back behind the line.
Heralds of the wind. Yes.
Yeah, their general's left the battlefield now. So they'll get a minus 10 penalty. No, but minus 16, but just temporarily, and then it will just... It won't be anything.
We away.
So here comes enemy reinforcements, but because we've done a good job on this, they've come in basically too late now.
Sail. Heralds of the wind. Assa, advance. Ancestors. Loyal. Ancestors. Silver helm. Prince of Ulthuan. Heralds of
This is gonna hurt.
serve the king. Without fail.
We've got archers that do have some ammo left over there to try and shoot the storm vermin sword and shields.
Swiftly. It shall be done. March. For order. Truth, justice.
Jeez, the bounce power's actually slipped away from us now.
Silver helm.
That's okay. We'll turn it around.
Obtain. Heralds of the wind.
Guess they're still bringing in more reinforcements.
Northern Seaguard. Forward. As you say, we advance.
I'm sure a lot of the bounce power is tied up in this unit here. So breaking that without it doing very much damage to us, that'll be a big help.
Assa, advance. For Ulthuan.
Good. No shield block from that angle. Maybe from this one. Well, we didn't kill the first general, but looks like we're going to kill the second. Good.
Make Ulthuan.
But they're not going to get a leadership penalty from that. It's only the first one.
Asaurian willing. Heralds of the wind. Quickly now. Assyrian willing. Weapons ready. Archers.
Alright, still got tiny little bit of ammo left. Save that for later because this guy's definitely gone. Still the balance of power is not in our favour. Because now we're heavily spent. Alright, there's still a few Skaven slaves in there. So they're not going to be a problem. But we've got some experienced clan rats coming in here as well. So those are going to be a problem, especially considering now the morale penalty from their general leaving the battlefield has now left. So they just don't care now. Because it's a minus 10 penalty for if their general dies. But it's no morale penalty at all. I think they need to change that to at least like a minus 5 penalty. But I don't know. We definitely don't want to just be charging in there.
We go. Heralds of the wind.
And we are completely out of ammo now. try and pick up this one here.
Battle calls. Moving out.
Might as well go into combat. We don't have any other way of fighting them now. Which means, you know, even sending our archers into melee. At the very least, if we could stop these missile units from shooting, at least they're not using their ammo on us.
Prince of Oathwood.
And we do have the Helm of Discord, but we have to keep him out of combat. He's had enough.
And I be praised. To battle. Lakoi. Ancestors.
Right, now the eagle causes fear, so bringing it over here could help. Just a little bit.
Illyrian archers. Prince of Oathwood. Son of Oathwood. We will obey. For duty.
Bouncer power's about even now. Things looking good.
Battle calls. By Alariel.
Trying to get these guys to rear charge here. Probably won't break them. But it might.
For duty. Silver helms. Death to all.
Bouncer power's looking good now.
Guardian of order. Illyrian archers. Onward. Orders received. We advance. For Assyria. We away. Forward.
Alright, good. Getting a bit of a mass rout here. And make sure you run them down or else they'll just come back.
Moving out.
If we get these guys off the battlefield, they might just receive the army loss penalty.
Illyrian archers. Archers. Orders received. Swiftly. Apace. It will be done. Moving out. The greater good. Prince of Oathwood. We will obey. We will obey. Serve the king.
So far, so good. And there's the army loss penalty. Cool.
Following orders.
And there you go.
Silver helms.
Not a particularly tough battle, but I could certainly see why he might have had trouble with it. I mean, the guy did say he couldn't resolve it on his own. He probably tried it multiple times.
Silver helms.
The thing is, you had a good army for dealing with this. I like to meme on how cavalry's crap, and most of the time, cavalry is crap in Warhammer 2. But in this particular scenario here, where morale shocks were actually quite viable, that was the key to victory, and he probably just didn't make use of that. See, that's the big thing about cavalry. Cavalry is best used when using morale shocks, and if you're going up against units that have a base 70 or 80 morale, your chances of actually causing a morale shock are basically nothing. But since these guys, even with their not the legendary difficulty, on very high difficulty, they still have like a leadership of only like 50 or 60. So it is still viable to break them. Especially if you kill their general, which we didn't. Anyway, you should be able to sort that out from here. Yeah, it's always close victory because you used up too much ammo, which is to say all of it. But your army is still intact. The garrison doesn't really matter too much, it'll just recover. But I don't think anyone got wiped out. I think one of the dudes got, he ran away. And you should be able to pursue them, even with what you've got there, and finish the job. Let's just have a little look at what the results are. Also, it was stretched as well. So yeah, his army's obliterated except for the Doom Wheel and 3 Skaven Slave Slingers. Yeah, you should be able to finish them off. Same with this one here, barely anything left. Even with just this, you should be able to finish the job. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Real quick one. This isn't a disaster campaign, it was just a battle. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one, fuckers.